I'm not going to be able to see it now. Just doesn't even it's the cave in this mission. Huh? There should be a door going down. Like this. Like this. Something like this. I feel wind now. You're not allowed in there. But it's in there. Imagine if you could come back this way.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Still is. Just about.
You've turned out rather well. We're just about to start the tour.
Yeah. You want some cash from us, don't you?
Well, that will help.
It would, wouldn't it? What do you want?
I'll get us another can of paint. What are you, one complete group, are we?
Yes, all the family.
Well, let's
I need some cash.
Sorry?
She's hiding my wallet. So let's spend it all at one go. It's a drink.
You're a brave man. You're a brave man.
I know. You want it in dinar or in pounds? Oh, go on, pull your one.
Pounds is good. Pounds is real money. Stay with it because eventually they'll come through like shining lights. That's going to cost you €25 for everyone. That's the whole gang. Now you can take as many pictures as you like.
Oh, it's permitted, is it?
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
And you can ask Tony any questions you like, but be quick. I've had the guy from WikiLeaks on the phone, and they want to interview him because he's giving away state secrets.
So when we get back home, the secrets might be on.
Well, Tony might be in Sweden in jail, waiting deportation to America to face the CIA interrogators.
Yes. Don't they just love to keep secrets?
Shoot the messenger, you know, and never mind the... Oh, what am I doing here? Cancel that.
Pretend you haven't seen us, we can walk in.
Say again?
Pretend you haven't seen us, we'll just walk in.
Here we go. Yes, cancel that. Try a family. Now you'll find this fascinating, not just because of what they did, but how they did it. Everything in here is extremely simple. Don't forget, it's the generation before me. It's bits of aluminium, bits of string. And they did it, you know, they absolutely did it. Brilliant. I take it we've got a budding journalist here, have we?
I'm
I'm trying to be a historian as well.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, you'll learn a lot here. Tidy up the pictures. Ask any questions you like. He's really good. Trust me, just local encyclopedia.
And that is it.
That's it. That's all 5.
It's a bus pass.
Now you'll get one of them soon, I'm telling you.
No,
Right, you can have a read of these afterwards. Do you want one each? When you're having a cool drink upstairs, and really it's a summary of all the information Tony's going to give you. Okay?
Good morning.
Right, run this way now. Just follow Tony. Yep.
Will do.
And you're off on the trail.
So, today it's very quiet, but 69 years ago, this was a very busy place as the invasion is actually going on, and they are seeing it happening from here. So this is the original map, put here in 1942. When I tell you original, the thing is this. 4 years ago, when we started to restore the place, when we came here the first time, we did not find it here. Another map was on top of it. It was a whole map of the Mediterranean, not just Sicily, still with the names of Russian submarines on it. 1964 is the last year this place was used, and this was NATO headquarters, Southern Europe, in the 60s during the Cold War, and from here they are shadowing the Russian fleets in the Mediterranean. Unfortunately, we lost this other map because all these years when you don't aerate the place, humidity was going up to the ceiling here. The other map was made of canvas and it was falling to bits. But as we were removing it, we found the other one underneath in perfect condition. Actually much older, but this is not canvas, it's a thick wooden board and it's hand painted in oil-based paint just like painting a portrait. So as soon as we found this map, we said this place is going to be Second World War, forget NATO, and we started to restore it as much as possible as it was during the Second World War. So 300 people used to work here, as I told you. Today, only 18 people remain alive of the original 300. We keep contact with them like never before. And they helped us enormously here. Color schemes, anything that they could remember, we set it up to look as much as possible as Second World War. So, Sicily? The red lines at the bottom are the British troops coming ashore on their beach when the invasion is going to start. The blue lines are the Americans coming ashore on another beach. This is the first time in the Second World War British and American troops are together as allies. The 4 offices here, these big generals are told you are coming here. Each is having his own office and he's starting to operate from here. So the first office was given to the Air Force, Air Vice Marshal Tedder, and boy, from such a small office, very bare, but he was controlling 4,000 aircraft. Everything is big, massive in numbers, both equipment and troops. It's not going to be a small commando raid as they used to do, but this is a full invasion going. So logistics here play a very big part. How did they manage to organize everything from such a small place? The next office, the army. General Harold Alexander. From the desert, he is here, and he was given the job to get 160,000 troops together to come ashore on the beaches. Big, big problems. Malta so small, you just cannot get 160,000 troops here. So they had to use North Africa. From Morocco to Alexandria, the whole coastline, troops are getting assembled, prepared, and then someone has to get them across. The Navy, Admiral Cunningham, 2,500 ships of all sizes were going to be needed to get everyone across. So big, big planning and organization skills are required here to get it working together. The third office, the big man himself, General Dwight Eisenhower, is here. He is overall commander of both British and American forces, and he is going to stay here 5 weeks to see the invasion actually happening from here. And all the reports from Sicily will be coming back here to be put on this map here. So, these 160,000 troops, again, problems. They are British and Americans together. We always say that the British and the Americans are allies, but forget it, here they were not. It's the first time that they are together. You have two different strategies of planning, and you're getting them together, and frictions was flying all the way. Besides these four generals here, there were two big generals here. These are the two generals that are going ashore with the troops. One is American, Patton. The other, Montgomery, British, his counterpart. And boy, all I can say, they were not the best of friends together, these two big egos, each trying to dominate the other one all the time. So here you will have a meeting starting, half an hour later, everything breaks down in complete disagreement. They were not getting anywhere together. And it got so bad between them that Eisenhower got fed up of the two. What he did remains historical up to this day, because he came to a point where he has to separate the two altogether. So the idea of having two beaches in Sicily is all about these big disagreements that were actually going on here. You're going to have one beach for the British, one beach for the Americans, two independent armies, not cooperating at all with each other, are coming ashore, each grabbing parts of Sicily, and it was an intense competition between them. Who is going to capture Sicily as a prize? So this is all the scenario of how things were here in 1943. So the British are going to land here at the corner of Sicily near the town of Noto. They are going to make a quick advance up the east coast in the direction of this famous town, Messina, at the top. If you capture Messina, you will isolate Sicily from the rest of Italy. And also, you will cut off the supply lines. This is the place where all the supplies are coming down from Italy to the German and Italian forces on Sicily. So Messina became this big target everyone is aiming for. The only problem, Messina is out of air control. From Malta up to the DK line is the limit of air operations over Sicily. And Messina is out of, we cannot reach it and defend it with our aircraft. So here, on the 10th of July, the British are the first to start coming ashore. The first town in Europe to be liberated by the Allies is the old town of Syracuse here, that is taken on the very first day by 41 Commando Group as they come ashore. In 2 days, the British rush to take Catania, which is the capital city of Sicily. Progress has been very good, actually. They already covered half the distance up to Messina when they took Catania. But on taking Catania, this dark area plays its part. The famous volcano, Mount Etna, is barring the way to Messina. It's a 10,000-foot mountain. You have to go up the mountain, down again to continue to go on your way to Messina. And here, something happened also. Intelligence wasn't working that good. They knew that this triangle here, this darker part of Sicily, is under German control. They knew it. But actually, they did not know nothing much more how many or what armaments the Germans have. 40,000 Germans are in this part of Sicily, and they have been very busy preparing defenses. Mount Etna itself has been transformed into a big defense position with the Germans sitting right on top of the volcano. A famous division of the German army, the Hermann Göring division, is right on top of Mount Etna waiting there. So it's as the first Canadian troops, part of the British army, started to go up the slopes of the volcano, suddenly this heavy fire started coming down on them. With the result here that the whole British advance lost its momentum. Progress became very sluggish, very slow. They were fighting very hard to remove the Germans from on top of the volcano. In the meantime, the Americans are coming ashore on their beach further along the coast here. And as they start to come ashore, things play out totally different here. The Americans start reporting that they are fighting against Italian troops rather than Germans. This part of Sicily is defended by the Italians. And the Italians, no, are not like the Germans. I mean, morale with the Italians is not good. Your own country is being invaded. They put a small defense and they start to fall back with the Americans going rushing after them. Now, the Italians are not going towards Messina, which is the only way out of Sicily, actually. They are going towards the other side of the island. They are going towards Palermo, which is their second city, still under their control. So Petain is rushing after the Italians. 4 days of Petain rushing, and he eventually captures Palermo. And he is on the other side of the island, a good 600 miles away from Messina. But on taking Palermo, another lucky break plays in favor of the Americans. This red line going snaking across the map, they find it to be the main highway linking Palermo with Messina. So they find themselves this good road, an asphalted road. You could use your tanks, you could use your heavy machinery. The British are going up their volcano practically on foot. This is not tank country going up a volcano. So much more difficult. So Petain, being an ex-cavalry general, he let loose his tanks. American army start rushing towards Messina from the north. The Germans, here on top of their volcano, they have one good defense observation position from up there. You are seeing everyone below you. So they are seeing the Americans coming from the north, the British are coming from the south, and their general, Kesselring, quite a good general himself, he gets to know, if I stay here, I'm going to be completely surrounded. The Americans from one side, the British from the other. So he issues this order, start to evacuate from Mount Etna. The Germans start coming down from their volcano on the other side, up to Messina, and very quickly across the 3-mile straits that separate Sicily from the rest of Italy. But this is no rout. This is an organized retreat. They managed that out of 40,000 troops that they have in the area, 30,000 with all their equipment are escaping back to Italy before Messina actually surrendered. So we come to this famous race, Petain and Montgomery coming from 2 different directions trying to get to Messina. Petain enters Messina some hours before Montgomery. And boy, this is the end of the relationship between these two. They were not talking to each other anymore after this. In fact, after the campaign of Sicily, Petain was removed. He did not take part in the next invasion, Normandy. Actually, this thing had to stop between them altogether, so Eisenhower actually removed him, and now it's Bradley that is taking his place for the next invasion. So, this is 3 weeks after the fall of Messina, and another invasion is being set, mainland Italy. The place is going to be Salerno, lower than Naples, and the Allies are coming ashore on mainland Italy itself. Another thing that happened on the fall of Messina, 150,000 Italian troops left behind by the Germans on Sicily. They have no way out. They have to surrender. So they took large quantities of prisoners in Sicily. So as the Salerno landings is going on, practically this is the end of the war for this little island here. The more war goes up into Italy, the bigger the distance is for German aircraft. They don't have the range anymore to reach Malta. And with that, we're practically out of the war, although our troops continue to fight in Italy with the Allies. So, as this invasion is going on, all the reports are coming back from Sicily. Every hour, radio reports are coming here. Plotters will receive them, everything will go on the map using the big letter, and Eisenhower on that balcony studying, seeing the invasion happening real time. Actually, we call this place Invasion School number 1. Actually, Eisenhower was here for a purpose. 11 months after Sicily, the next big invasion, Normandy, is coming. But up to now, nobody has invaded Europe from the sea.